how do I make sure that when I'm hiring an attorney, that I'm hiring the actual best person for me and for the job? And I think the first thing people need to do when they realize they need an attorney is they need to figure out exactly what kind of attorney that they want. Because a lot of times people will waste time calling around, trying to get referrals, and ending up being connected with people who are not what they're looking for and who may even try to take on their case, but it's not their expertise. They're just not going to get the best result doing that. So, what I would say is type in your problem, figure out, do I need a family lawyer? Do I need a criminal lawyer? Do I need a federal criminal lawyer? Um, and start from there. Then, obviously, if you know people, then you can ask around. But to be honest, I don't recommend using referrals as your only way of finding an attorney, because just because your friend's cousin, brother knows this guy who's a lawyer doesn't mean he's any good. And unless that person is introducing you to them from the perspective of being a client of theirs and not just being like a friend or a drinking buddy or somebody from church, unless they've actually seen this person work in the legal environment, they have no idea if this person is going to be a good lawyer or not, or if they're even like legitimately barred and don't have any disciplinary actions against them. So I would say, yes, you can get a referral, but I think you should also do research and search for an actual person. So when it comes to searching for an attorney, there are a lot of directories online. Of course, you can always go into Google once you know the type of attorney you want. And I would always look for someone in my county or in the county of the issue. So if you were arrested in Miami, you want to get a lawyer that's in Miami-Dade County, not in Hillsborough County or Broward County, even. I would want somebody who works and practices in Miami Dade. The reason for that is even though they may be licensed, for example, a Florida attorney can practice anywhere in Florida. Even though they may be licensed, they may not necessarily be familiar with the actual court procedures in that courtroom, who the judges are, how things work. And so you're creating an extra barrier to getting a good outcome if you're hiring somebody who is not exactly familiar with that system. So I would recommend, you can Google search, you can go to avo.com, you can go to superlawyers.com, and these are directories that actually have lawyers listed there. Avo will also have ratings from the person's clients, from their peers in the field. I would also look at super lawyers. Super lawyers only accepts, I think, the top 10% of attorneys. So only the better attorneys are going to be listed there. And they do things like checking for whether the person has any disciplinary actions, if they're involved in their community, that kind of thing. And then once you find that, I want you to be aware of a couple of things. Number one, be aware if you're looking at sponsored ads or if you're actually looking at attorneys. Nothing wrong with like picking an attorney from a sponsored ad, but you want to make sure that you're not mistakenly doing that. Because remember, the people who are paying for sponsored ads are paying for the ability to be seen by more people. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're the best. What happens is a lot of times, because the sponsored ads are usually at the top of the search, people get this false impression if they don't realize that, oh, these are the best because they're at the top. But it's not necessarily that they're the best, it's just that they're paying to be there. So that's one thing that I would look out for. The other thing that I would look out for is the reviews. You want to actually, obviously, if somebody has 200 reviews, you don't have to read all 200 of them, but I would definitely say look to see what kind of reviews there are. Are these reviews from regular people? that who have hired this person, or are these like fluffed reviews, and you can tell, you shop on Amazon, you can tell the real reviews. You really want to pay attention to that, because you want to make sure that you're getting someone who's authentically giving their clients a good experience. The other thing I would say is I would not pick the first lawyer I see unless you're very intuitive and you have a very strong feeling. I would say just go ahead and talk to two or three at least. Um, Most attorneys will give you a free consultation depending on the area of law. My area is criminal defense. Everybody gives a free consultation. So at the very least, you can make a phone call, talk to this person, get a feel for them, or I don't know if people still do in person. You can meet with them in person and see if this is somebody that you want to work with. When it comes to certain areas of law, family law, probate, criminal law, this is somebody you're going to be working with closely for a while. So you want to make sure that when you're speaking to this person, you feel very comfortable with them. And one thing that I see a lot of people do as a mistake, because they come to me after they have hired these lawyers that, and they have regret about it, is that they will go for the lawyer who they think is like the best trial lawyer, or the famous lawyer, the lawyer who's on all the ads and the billboards. And they will select this person. And then once they get into the experience, they feel like they're treated like a number, or that the person doesn't actually believe them or doesn't actually care about their case. Be very careful with that, because if you go into a consultation and an attorney makes you feel like they're rushing, or um like you're just a number to them, and they have like that kind of thing, is only going to get worse once you actually become a client. So if you are in a consultation and you have any inkling that this person doesn't connect with you, I see that a lot with people who are culturally or racially different from the attorneys that they hire. A lot of times, these attorneys, they're looking at you a certain way, they're judging you a certain way. They don't understand you, they don't understand your lifestyle. They may use some words because they want you to feel that they do, but when it comes down to it, 3 months down the road, they're going to be trying to get you to take a plea offer instead of fighting for your case, because they're looking at you like you're an actual criminal. They believe deep down, whether it's conscious or not, that you are a criminal just because of the way you look or the lifestyle that you have. And so you're not going to get them advocating for you in the way that you're actually needing when you're hiring somebody. So I would say definitely that's the most important thing you want to look for. You want to see how you feel with this person, and whether you feel like this person is actually going to care and do a good job for you. And then from there, you want to ask questions. You want to ask about what their strategy would be, like whether they're familiar with this kind of case. Do they do this kind of thing on a regular basis, whatever your specific issue is? So if it's a criminal lawyer, you want to know, okay, if you have a murder case, does this person handle murder cases, or are they just always doing DUIs? Is the big fancy billboards that you see, is them just marketing for DUIs? You want to ask those questions. You also want to see, um, if this how long has this person been in business, how long have they been practicing law. um, there are lawyers that are newer that are good, but you want to make sure that if you're hiring somebody with 1 year of experience, that the price that you're paying is reflected in that, because you know it's probably going to take them a little bit longer to do things, if they're on their own and, they're newer to the practice area. Or even if they've been practicing 20 years, but they have not been practicing in the area that you are looking for, then you might end up with a lawyer who's going to be slower, it's going to be more difficult. And so you want to make sure that you are considering that when you're talking about prices and payment plans and options. And that's going to be a big thing too. does this attorney allow you to have payment plan options? Even if you can afford to pay it up front, a lot of my clients, they have the money, but they still do a payment plan just because it's puts them in a better financial position at the end of the day. Um, and yeah, they'll continue to pay, they'll put it on automatic payment. A lot of firms, myself included, will have actual payment plans where you can put a card on it and it comes out. You know when it's coming out, you'll get an email confirmation. It's all very automatic, but still, like, you have that continuity, and it gives you also more of a position of negotiation with your attorney. So I wish you the best. I hope that helps and that you find the attorney that's going to give you the best results. So when you walk away from your case, you really feel like you've been taken care of and that everything that could have been done has been done. Thank you so much.